Hi. Uh, the reason why I wanted to make this film mainly was because coming from a matrilineal society, I wanted a matrilineal society to come as a film, as a story to be told. It's an untold story. So, like for me, I have never seen a film that actually spoke about a matrilineal society. I've seen many other films that speaks about different other. Uh, Societies, communities, but never of mine. So I wanted to show people because when I was in Maharashtra, when I was in Pune, when I was just talking normally about just myself, even then it was like a huge shocker for a lot of people. So even the fact that it was, taken that way, even if it's just talking, communicating. So I was like, this should be shown in a film format also. So yeah, that's why. So my process usually comes from personal experience first. Second, it comes from research in grounds of observation, or what I have experienced by seeing, rather than just experiencing firsthand myself. So yeah, there was a time when I was doing a research, literal research for a documentary, which was just basically mainly based on matrilineal society itself. So a lot of different ideas and different kind of perspective, reached out to me through that research, and I was hands-on doing such research, with the people, talking to people and all of that. So for me, from what I have seen with my family to what I saw in from a different family in villages and other places, is when I started opening my whole understanding of the whole matrilineal society. Before, I was really proud of okay, I belong to a matrilineal society, we are the women, blah 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 kind of a thing. But then later, when the research happened, and when I started looking at it through a different perspective, is when I realized that there are a lot of things that is not right even in my society itself. And for that reason, I also took this idea to write upon it. And the other reason is personal experience. Like I said, personal experiences through my brother-in-law, and through the weddings that I have attended. I have witnessed certain things about how men in my society are, and how they have experienced after marriage, of how they have to go to their wife's home. So such experiences personally that I have noticed is how I have made this film too. I actually want to make this film in a wider perspective, and a bigger um, uh, format. This is a short format, right? So I wanted to make it in a much more. But then when it came to FTII, I actually had another idea. But then I was like, no, I have to say something that has to do with my community. So I shot in this format, and then I made this. The thing is, it's the truth itself. It's it's a fact that we have to live with right now. Even if it's a matrilineal society, there is a lot of patriarchy in it. And given the fact that yes, there is a certain stance for women in the society, but there is also a lot of suppression in it. So given all these complexities, for me, I wanted to bring it out in my film, but then I also wanted to uh, have this vulnerability that I wanted to show of a man from my society going through this kind of a process. So that is the main reason why I wanted to keep that balance also. I really wanted to speak about this kind of a topic, but at the same time really wanted to show a man who was going through this kind of a situation. So yeah, maybe on later work, I can step into just one thing and then focus on that. So um, in my society, at least in my tribe, at least the biggest connection, or the biggest manner of people talking and having coming together is through food. And I think that is actually just given for any kind of community. And food is the way through your heart, through your stomach, everywhere, right? It gives you that soul connection. So for me, I felt I also wanted to show that so Meghalayan food or like northeastern food is quite looked into a stereotype manner. So I also wanted to get away from that and show like I just wanted to show a dish of like a Garo dish also into the frame. So that is also there. I think there is a lot of access to films of other communities, but for my community there is an access of their own films of their own language itself. So when I am trying to make a film in my language, I want to make it for my people. I don't want to make it for people who are they have their own so many other like if you think of other communities and other tribes, they have had their little breakout or they have had their little industry and everything. Us, for my community, there isn't. So I want to make films for my community. I want to make films so that they can see and they can not communicate, but like they can connect. Basically, yes, that's the word. Connect to themselves or to their something on screen. Basically, that's why. Yeah. So this is actually my first screening in a festival of this film, and to have it in Dharamshala is like I was out of the world when I first found out that my film was going to Dharamshala. So I am having the best time here because it makes me feel like I'm at home. Like the whole serenity, the whole terrain, everything feels like I'm in Shillong itself. So like I feel at home. I feel good. I feel happy. And the audiences have like given me such beautiful responses to my film, and I feel so accepted in some sense. I feel good. I feel happy that a film made in Garo language is being accepted by people who don't even know anything about it.